Yo, welcome back. This is Stu42 with another Minecraft episode, and welcome to the new look, workshop, rearranged a little bit from last time. So what have we done? Moved this a little bit. I had to upgrade this steam pipe here because it wasn't coping. I've managed to put the steam under the floor, running along. We now have 4 basic steam turbines to supply enough power. We've upgraded the wiring to the 4x tin cable. Made quite a few extra machines. So we've got the basic chemical reactor with the assembling machine for rubber. We've got a centrifuge with assembling machine for glue. We've also got this basic fluid solidifier next to it. So I've been changing the output between the side and below so that we can put rubber in here as well, because it makes rings and plates and stuff a lot more cheaply. What else do we have? We built an extractor, a fluid extractor as well, and another assembly machine on the bottom of that, and you'll see why in just a second. Also an electrolyzer and an extruder. Those were just to... Oh, and I'm already in the bit that I wanted to do. So that was finishing off a few of these machines. I've still got quite a few to go. I'll gradually make my way through them. Obviously the ones with the special symbols are the ones that get on to the next sort of trees, and they unlock things. So I haven't got to that one yet. Haven't got to that one. Yeah, there's still a few things for me to do. But one of the things that I did was I did the... Where is it? Not the suction device. Electricity, molten redstone. I think it's this one. Yeah, the basic fluid extractor. So when you do the basic fluid extractor, it unlocks the Steve's Carts one. And this is what I kind of wanted to get to today. I wanted to start getting towards having some... Oh, is that red again? Hopefully not. So I wanted to get towards automating some trees, getting some wood automated coming in from a tree farm. There was another quest that looked kind of interesting. I originally wasn't going to do it, but I've decided that it might be an idea to do it. Why have 1 coke oven when you can have 10 260 coke oven bricks? This is going to be a lot of fun. What do? Yeah, alloy smelter. So sand and clay in the alloy smelter makes a coke oven brick. So that should be pretty fast-ish to do. Wow, it is another blood moon. That is crazy. What is with the blood moons? Let's just quickly seal that up. So before this gets too dark, I'll just cover this off. I did want to get to making some of those, so I'll get those done very shortly. The other thing that I wanted to do was make the cart assembler. Now this is relatively nasty. It needs another 2 robot arms, 2 conveyor modules, LV machine hub. I've done all those before. The huge iron pane we can make in an assembler. From large iron panes, which we can make in an assembler from regular iron panes, which are just cut up iron plates. Not too difficult there. And simple PCB. Now this is where the fluid extractor comes up to its own, because the only way to make this is by using either molten soldering alloy, molten lead, or molten tin. Obviously soldering alloy is the cheapest, tin's the next best, and lead is pretty expensive, but we don't have much lead anyway. I'll probably use tin just because we've got tons of tin. And then, yeah, fine gold wire, electronic circuits, and circuit boards. So I'm going to need to make yet more electronic circuits as well, which we can maybe make. Yeah, we can make this in the same deal. Soldering alloy, tin with the vacuum tubes, red alloy wire. So it's obviously, yeah, it's going to be a lot cheaper to make these in here. So I might do that this time around as well. Circuit board. Yep, again with the glue, wood and copper. Cool. All right, very, very blood moony now. All right, so I'm going to go. I'll come back. I'll get a few of these materials together so we can spend most of the episode hopefully organizing Steve Carts and actually starting some automation for that. So I'll see you back here in just a bit. Okay, so the blood moon is now over. I've done a few things as well. One of the things that tripped me up though is I needed a few of these electronic circuits, and I thought, great, instead of using the slow way, I will use the new fast way here. Not realizing, of course, that this is the circuit assembler and not the real assembler. To make the circular assembler is a little bit tricky. And then I fell further into the trap a little bit by trying to make vacuum tubes instead of the slow way. making them the fast way, and I thought, yes, excellent, assembler, cool, red alloy, excellent, 8 EU per tick, cool. We don't have red alloy, but we do have, I think it's just red alloy we have. Anyway, to make either of the alloys though, we need to use the fluid extractor, and this is 36 EU per tick, so we can't actually make that with our LV setup. So that kind of meant I had to do everything the slow way. But I did get the cart assembler made, and I've chucked it down over here. I'm not going to do anything with this yet, because in the quests we have unlocked the cargo manager. So the cargo manager, we're going to start getting some tracks. This is pretty similar to make to the other one, to the cart assembler. We've got the same sort of items. These ones are the only new ones, which is going to need a chemical bath. Yeah, the cutting machine just cuts the bigger ones back down, so we're going to need to figure out the chemical bath. Molten redstone, on the other hand, is 31 EU per tick, so we can do that. So hopefully there's a quest for the chemical bath. And then I might just do a bunch of these things, maybe off camera, because I really want to get to making the actual tracks and making the train and stuff in this episode. The other thing worth noting is, yeah, here. So in the alloy smelter, I've been grabbing sand and clay and just doing this as I go. Oh, we got 3 stacks already, so it's that 192. So we're getting close to our 260 of those needed for the 10 coke ovens. So yeah, anyway, I will be back in just a bit. I'll make this and see where we go from there. See you in a sec. So the next little check-in that I need to do, I've done a few bits. So I made the unloader. I made the simple cart, the storage, and the power, because those are all, wow, a bit tricky, but I mean a lot of materials, but we've got them done anyway. So I've got those all made up. We can probably actually put the engine in, put the storage in. Cool, so we're still waiting on some bits for that, so we might as well leave it in there. Now, one of the bits that I wanted to do was the woodcutter. I probably have to make this just to progress the quests, but we'll do the woodcutter for sure. Now, easy. Saw blade, hard-ish. So we need the diamond saw blade. Small piles of diamond dust are probably not too hard to come by. The cobalt brass gear though, this is where we're going to start to need cobalt brass. So we sort of have to duck out of those quests back into the tier 2 quests. Over here we've got this thing called a new alloy, and on here this is how we make cobalt brass. So we're going to need copper and zinc, which makes brass. And then we're going to need to try and find aluminium and cobalt. So aluminium dust cobalt dust we already have, because we've been centrifuging that out. Aluminium I haven't got yet, but from there we can make some cobalt brass dust. Now, also in here, over the other side, I've made this, the thermal centrifuge, just the basic one. In fact, I can probably hit it to keep going. So I'm currently centrifuging some tetrahedrite ore, which is giving us a little bit of zinc and tetrahedrite. So the zinc is what we're going to need to make the brass. And then, now that we've made the thermal centrifuge, it's down here for gallium arsenide, which we're going to need later on anyway. So what do we need to do from here? I need to process a bunch more minerals to get some zinc. I need to figure out how we're going to get, so we've got cobalt. Like, I don't know whether I can use the other sort of aluminium instead of that bluish sort of colored one, but we'll figure out what we're doing and get that done. And then hopefully when I come back again, I'll have made the woodcutter and we'll actually get this thing up and running and start making some tracks and getting some wood automatically harvested. Yeah, and see where we go from there. So see you in a bit. So we are finally sort of getting there. I've managed to make a bunch of cobalt brass. I've got some diamond dust. I've made 5 of these saw blades, which we can then just craft straight for those. I've got the rest of it waiting to go here. Yay, basic woodcutter. That should complete the quest. Oh, I didn't detect that when I did it. There's another quest. After I did the new alloy, there was one down here for this truly sharp saw blade, and I didn't remember to complete it. That's okay, we'll get back to that and complete it anyway, because we'll need to do one of them at some point. Basic woodcutter, we get a diamond. Yeah, cool. Man, nothing else updated. That's That's not so flash. So let's just chuck some of our stuff, our rewards, away. Now the basic woodcutter, we can throw that on there. Ready to assemble cart. So what do we need? Complexity cap is 50. It's going to take 11 minutes to make. Do we need anything else? Probably not at this point. This is going to be the simplest cart ever. So let's throw... Can we use charcoal to make it? Yep. Assemble. Awesome. So that'll make the cart. Now, what else did we have to do? I was really hoping there'd be more there, but that's okay. What I have done otherwise is... Now, back at the start, we were looking at this. Why have one coke oven when you have 10? And I did actually finish the 260 coke bricks. We're going to need a lot of conveyors, pumps, some tin item pipes, wood and fluid pipes, a couple of barrels, although I can probably just pick these 2 barrels up. So I've got my 260 coke oven bricks. And what I've been doing in the background over here is making another area. So I'm going to put the coke ovens probably along this wall. Maybe too high, maybe just a really long line of them. I don't know yet, but I'm going to put them up there because what I'm going to do is above here, if you look on my mini map, there's one of my big jungle trees, and that's the flat area up top. So I'm going to dig a hole through here, have the carts running above, feeding the wood straight down into the coke ovens, or into a chest and then into the coke ovens. Oh, sorry, barrel, whatever, coke ovens. And then from there, we'll get the creosote out and the charcoal out, and we should be able to start feeding the boiler a bit more automatically, which we're going to need a bigger boiler of as well, because even with just this one thing going, this is a 2 amp machine, and it's not keeping up at all. It's running out of steam pretty quickly, so I have to keep stopping and starting this to let the steam build back up again. So that is where we are at. So I'll wait for this cart to finish making. We've got some tracks from the rewards. Yeah, 12 of those tracks. So I might make some of these as well. We can do that in the assembler pretty easily. Yeah, wooden rail bed we did before from a quest. Standard rail is bending machine. Excellent, we have a bending machine already. So we can throw, there we go, 3 iron rods makes 2 standard rails. Easy. Awesome, wrought iron a little bit better. Tungsten steel, steel rod, there we go, 3 steel makes 4 standard rails. Yeah, either or. So I can make some rails, make some more tracks. There is one other thing I believe we need next to that, which is, I can't remember what it's called. Detector track, I'm pretty sure it's this one here. Yeah, not too difficult to make. So I'm going to make one of these detector tracks as well to go next to, oh, unless the detector. Minecart, weighted pressure, stone, red oil plate. Yep, we've got all of those. I think I've got spare minecarts as well. Yeah, I've got a spare minecart. Cool. So I'm going to get all that done, make the detector track. I'll probably lay out a bit of track upstairs potentially, and then see how we go about, yeah, maybe even getting some of these coke ovens set up. All right, I will be back once again in just a moment. So we're back, and I have grabbed a few extra things along the way. I've figured out that it wasn't actually the detector track we wanted. We wanted the advanced detector rail. It's the Steve's Carts one, of course. So we have that. We've got our cart out of the machine. It's all ready to go. We've got a few other... I've added some extra vines. So we've got a few other things. So up here is where we're gonna put it. So we'll start with the cargo manager. So the cargo manager, I don't know, let's just throw him there, say. We're going to need to have the advanced detector rail right next to it, and we're going to need to lay a bunch of tracks. So what I might do is go, well, if we leave those on the outside, I should go the inside. Let's have a look. Let's go. I'm a bit worried about these torches is all. Now we should be able to go 2 blocks in to leave space for tree and tree and tree and tree. If we do it right, it should be okay. Whoops. That is not quite nice. So actually, do I want this to be here or do I want it back from the edge? You know what? I'm gonna move this back a bit. Just so that we're not completely hard up against the edge. Yeah, that might be a bit better. And we're gonna need to remove all this as well. Alright, so now we want to run some track down to, actually we'll leave that one on the corner. Go like that. This is a pretty standard pattern that I use when I'm laying out track like this. Do we want to go up to the torches? Probably not. Maybe the other side of them. Sure, let's go this way. It's going to be a nice big track. So we're going to need 2 gap. This way we should maximize our area for growing trees. Look at that. Awesome. So now what we're going to do is, we've got a few tracks left over. Cool. So we want to put this thing down. We want it to go the other way. So let's get some jungle saplings. I think. Yep, I've got some of that in there. Let's just put some fuel in. Yep, so it's going that way. Now I'm hoping what will happen with this is... Oh, it's going to be there. No, I need to torch in the wrong spot. These torches in the wrong spot? No. Cool, so I can put a torch there. I can put a torch potentially there. Oh, actually, we'll see how we go, because we might end up... Oh, no, we should be right. What I'm aiming for is this tree to be one there, so it goes alternating down the other side. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. So it is going to alternate the sides, which is good. Cool, so that torch will be placed after it was done. This torch we can put there. Oh, that torch might need to go. This torch... No, because it never puts one outside. So that's good. We can probably move that one closer. And we could probably put a torch in the middle here and one there, potentially. Cool, so let's just grab the sleeping bag. Have a quick sleep. Cool, so that one can go there, that one can go there. Now this should match back up. Awesome. So now what we've got to do is configure this. So what we want to do is we want to set it to probably each side having its own slots. That's going to be fine. We probably want this to be like to the cart, to the engine, and we want to go storage slots from the cart. Cool. And so now we can put, let's go for some charcoal in there. This should pick up. No, it's on the blue side. We need this to, oh, no, right click. We need blue and blue. And we need to disable that one and disable that one. Right, so blue, blue, because, and we make them both blue because this is the blue side of the box. There we go. Loading up on some charcoal. Ready to go. Cool, now what we need to do is for one of these trees to grow to sort of prove the theory. Although it's planting jungle wood just fine, so I imagine that this would be not a problem for it. And that's probably big enough as a... I wonder if I've got any bone meal. Oh, I've got a spare one of them. Come, grow one of you. All right, so what I might do, I'll run down. Actually, we'll take the shortcut. It'll hurt a little bit, but it's faster. We've got a bunch of bones. Now, if we just make sure, oh my gosh, that is a crazy sword. So we need bone meal, wood ash, we're not going to get in a hurry. I'm hoping there will just be a, yeah, pulverization. Awesome. So we can just take that out of there. Throw some bones in. I just want to round this episode out with some trees actually growing. Now, how many are we going to get? 4? 4. Look, 4 will do. We'll come down for the rest. Now watch this. There'll be a tree growing. Yep. It was always going to be the way. So come on, little cart. And yes, awesome. So one of the things that's good about using jungle trees is there's not a lot of leaves to wood ratio. It's a pretty good leaf to wood ratio, which means that you're not using too much power just chopping down leaves. Actually, do we have, yeah, 39. Cool. So now we should be able to, man, I used all 4 up and I didn't do anything. Well, there we go. It's unloaded some jungle wood anyway. So we've got 15 of them already. That almost sounds like 2 trees have grown. But cool, so it's happily picking up charcoal and dropping off jungle wood. Now, this means that we've got to no longer do all the manual harvesting. We're going to still have to make some charcoal somehow, but next episode, I think we'll get into automating a bunch of charcoal production and potentially pipe this up and down to a floor below, and see where we go from there with some more automation for power. Awesome. All right, well, that's it from me. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.